120 days ago, I got into the risky business of renting cars on Turo, and acknowledging the lessons from my past failures, this time around has been much smoother so far. Starting things off, the first car I purchased back in October of last year is this 2024 Nissan Sentra that I paid $26,000 for after accounting for taxes, vehicle registration, insurance, and the $3,000 I spent for a car service warranty that, according to my car sales manager roommate, will cover the car for any major repairs up to 150,000 miles. The car actually just got back from a 3-day trip with a guest, and it looks like it was left in pretty awesome condition, and peeking on the inside, you can also see that it's super clean. Shout out to that guest for leaving the car in almost perfect condition. But starting the car up to see how many miles it has on it now, you guys can see the guest returned it with a full tank of gas, so shout out to them. And the car's also sitting at 10,740 miles. That's quite a lot of miles for only 4 months of rentals to be put on this car, and that would average out to 30,000 miles annually. But with total revenue so far of $4,514, is it worth it? Before I also get into the journey of my second Turo car, let's head inside and also break down the numbers on the Nissan Sentra. With total revenue on the Nissan Sentra so far of $4,679, I've also had some costs such as $28.67 total spent on maintenance, which is pretty low since the Nissan Sentra is still a very new car, and the dealership also had a deal where your first 3 oil changes are completely free. But on top of that, we've also spent $80 on parking, $250 on Ubers back and forth to the airport, and about $100 per month or $400 total on vehicle insurance. That's just the price for off-trip insurance. I'm currently on the Turo 80/20 plan, meaning they take 20% of my revenue in exchange for providing insurance when the cars are rented out, but the revenue I shared with you is after Turo takes their cut. That's a net revenue of $3,960 and gives us an ROI of making the investment back on this vehicle of 26 months. And with that math, by the time this car makes our money back, it'll have 66,000 miles on the odometer. And in that time, the car will still be under warranty. But I'd be lying to you guys if I said I didn't expect some hurdles along the way. You see, the whole reason I bought a newer car this time around to rent on Turo is because back when I bought my first Turo car originally, it faced a plethora of issues, from a blown radiator and something just blew on the engine. What the heck just happened? I probably am out of a bunch of money now, right? So are you trying to open it right now, or what do you think the issue is?
I think it's head gasket.
Is that expensive?
It's one of probably the most expensive fucking car repairs you can get.
Turns out it's a piece of garbage. I'm gonna have to get this thing towed to broken catalytic converters, and it seemed that the cheaper cars attracted the worst renters. And I wanted to see if buying a new car with a warranty for any major repairs would be a better strategy. And with this new strategy, it'll be interesting to see if, as the Nissan Sentra ages and inevitably has its problems, if my warranty will actually cover the repairs. Because honestly, it seems too good to be true. But next up, the Subaru Outback just got back from a trip, and it looks like it was also left in pretty good condition. The mirror has still been broken since I got the car, and I haven't fixed it. The car is sitting at a grand total of 81,760 miles. And when I bought it, the car had 78,000 miles on the odometer, but I bought the car from Colorado, and I ended up taking a quick pit stop to the mountains and road tripping all the way back home, so I put at least 1,200 miles on the car myself. So since the car had its first trip on January 4th, it's only put on around 2,500-ish miles, which doesn't sound like a lot compared to the Sentra, but it's also because the car simply hasn't had a ton of bookings yet. The first month I had the car, it only made $518 the entire first month, and so far for February, we're sitting at $373 of earnings. And the car's had maintenance expenses of $250 so far between buying new wiper blades, getting an oil change, and purchasing a new car battery. So is it time to get rid of the lesbian mobile? The good news is bookings on the car have done so much better since I lowered the price from $60 to $49 per day. Sometimes that's the simple key to getting more bookings on your Turo car, is to lower your prices in the near term and raise them for dates further out. That's my little Turo secret. With this new price point, the car should still end up earning around $1,000 per month, so I think I'm gonna end up keeping it. Right now it seems there are 3 different types of hosts that rent cars out on Turo: people who buy cheap cars and are good at fixing things themselves, people who buy new cars and rent them out for years, and finally, people who buy expensive cars they've always dreamed of owning and subsidize the payment by renting it out on Turo. Good morning, guys. It is now the next day, and today the Subaru is actually going on a trip from the airport, earning $119.60. Opening the car up, you guys can see it's pretty clean on the inside, but when we check the car's dashboard, you guys can see it has a low tire pressure light. So we're gonna try and fix that by driving the car to a gas station and filling the tires up with premium air. It could be that the light is only on because of the cold, but I guess we'll find out. Working in freezing temperatures is never fun, and today it was -3 degrees Fahrenheit. But nonetheless, we were not able to get rid of the low tire pressure light. I'm assuming it's either due to the cold or or the light being inaccurate, but nonetheless, we're gonna wash the car and take it to the airport, and it's still gonna go out on its trip. At least now I can tell the renter, if they ask about it, that I tried filling the tires up with air, and I'm assuming that it's due to the cold weather outside. We just made it to the airport parking lot.
Please press on screen.
So now let's grab our ticket and go ahead and find a parking spot in the lot. I found a spot in aisle C North, so let's go ahead and park here. Now that we've parked the car here at the lot, I sent the guest over some pickup instructions for how to get the car, and when we were back at the car wash, I took some photos of the car's inside and outside for pre-trip photos. That completes my entire Turo pre-trip process, and normally this is where I take my electric scooter and drive 2 miles back home to save money, but since it's so cold outside, I think we're gonna end up booking an Uber. It's currently -3 outside and feels like -13 Fahrenheit, and for those of you Celsius peeps watching this video, it's -19. But on that note, the total cost for the Uber came out to $13.99, and the pickup is gonna be in 4 minutes. And after my Uber arrived and drove me back to the house, I continued running my Turo fleet throughout the next 22 days, bringing in an additional $1,220.63 in revenue, with the Subaru earning $471.77 and the Nissan Sentra making $748.86. And after adding up all the revenue and expenses for both cars since I got started again in this business model, we're sitting at a total profit of $5,357.86 after accounting for all the expenses broken down on this chart. But the thing no Turo host likes to talk about is depreciation. Both of my cars got back from rental trips last night, and they're posted up in front of my house right here and right here. Starting things off with the Nissan Sentra, since it's been rented out for the longest period of about 5 months, and in that time, I've been lucky enough to not have any crazy bad renters. There's been some minor instances of damage, like this cracked hubcap piece, a small chip on the car's bumper, and opening the car up, also some stains on the car's carpet, like right here. Sadly, as a Turo host, I can't really charge guests for this, since all claims have a $750 deductible on the 80/20 plan. And now hopping inside the car to see how many miles are on the odometer right now, we're gonna start it up, and you guys can see we're sitting at a whopping 12,841 miles. And since I bought the car brand new, that means we've experienced quite a bit of depreciation. The current value of the car private party is about $18,313, meaning it depreciated $2,867 from its MSRP value versus the $4,708.86 of net income that it brought in, for a total technical profit of $1,841. But I also had to pay 8% sales tax on the vehicle when I bought it, along with purchasing a $3,000 extended warranty on the car, bringing my total cost on the Nissan Sentra to $26,000 versus its $21,000 MSRP, so I guess that technically puts me in the negative. But my plan with the Nissan Sentra is to hold it and continue renting it out long term, but as for the future of my Turo empire, I think I'm gonna keep buying used cars at the best possible prices, because a car like this Subaru Outback I got for $16,000, I actually purchased for $2,200 below KBB value, and it's still worth the same, if not a little bit more than I actually paid for it. But the question is, do we keep expanding the Turo fleet? Comment down below your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.